Last January, Susan had her right leg amputated following a long illness, but she vowed that she would walk to the altar to marry actor Dick Long. At the reception, there was a long line of congratulations for the bride and groom and heartfelt wishes for long years of health and happiness.
They say fame is eternal, but what if fame catches you when you're not yet out of school? Here are 15 stars who never saw 30, and whose stories Hollywood tried to forget. 1. Lucille Rickson, age 14. Lucille Rickson, born August 22, 1910, became one of silent Hollywood's earliest breakout child actresses. By age 10-12, she was filming almost constantly, sometimes working over 12 hours a day, a pace critics later called far too heavy for a child. In 1924-1925, she appeared in a rapid string of productions, including The Galloping Fish, 1924, where exhaustion caused her health to collapse on set. Doctors diagnosed tuberculosis, worsened by overwork and lack of rest. Her mother died only weeks earlier, leaving Lucille to face treatment alone. She passed away on March 13, 1925, at just 14. Newspapers later described her case as a child pushed beyond Hollywood's limits, one of the most tragic early examples of a studio system burning out young talent. 2. Billy "Froggy" Laughlin, age 16. Billy Laughlin, born July 5, 1932, became famous as Froggy in the Our Gang, Little Rascals comedies. His unique raspy voice and wide-eyed humor made him one of the most recognizable child actors of the early 1940s, appearing in over 40 shorts between 1940 and 1944. Like many young performers, he found it difficult to secure roles as he grew older. On August 31, 1948, while riding a motor scooter with a friend in Los Angeles, their vehicle collided with a truck at an intersection. Billy, seated behind the driver, received fatal injuries and passed away shortly after, only 16. The news gained little coverage, and no studio memorial followed. For years, audiences enjoyed Froggy's films, often unaware that the cheerful boy they watched never reached adulthood. 3. Bobby Hutchins, age 20. Robert E. Weezer Hutchins, born March 29, 1925, joined Our Gang at age 4 and appeared in over 50 shorts through the late 1920s, early 1930s. Viewers remembered his sincere expression and natural comic timing, though like many child actors, he found fewer opportunities as he grew older. At 19, he enlisted in the U.S. Army Air Forces during World War II. On May 17, 1945, during training at Merced Army Airfield in California, the AT-6 aircraft he was in collided mid-air with another plane. Hutchins died instantly at just 20. His passing received little press attention, overshadowed by wartime events. Today, he's remembered as one of early Hollywood's most gentle child performers. 4. Clarine Seymour, age 21. Clarine Seymour, born December 9, 1898, entered Hollywood through D.W. Griffith's studio, appearing in True Heart Susie, 1919, and later Way Down East, 1920. Critics praised her expressive eyes and emotional presence, calling her one of the most promising young dramatic actresses of the silent era. In early 1920, she fell seriously ill from what was later described as intestinal strangulation and underwent emergency abdominal surgery. Complications and post-operative pneumonia followed, and Seymour died on April 25, 1920, at just 21. Newspapers noted her passing briefly. No scandal, only a future lost too soon. She remains a quiet reminder of how quickly rising stars could vanish in early Hollywood. 5. Susan Ball, age 21. Susan Ball, born February 3, 1934, was hailed as one of Universal International's brightest young stars of the 1950s, gaining notice in The Golden Horde, 1951, and Against All Flags, 1952. Critics believed she was on track for major leading roles thanks to her charisma and confident screen presence. In 1953, she was diagnosed with a malignant tumor in her right leg, yet continued acting, even filming scenes on crutches. The cancer progressed, and in 1954, her leg was amputated in hopes of saving her life. She married actor Richard Long during treatment and kept a positive spirit throughout. Suzanne Ball died on August 5, 1955, at only 21. Remembered as the girl who fought with a smile, she remains one of Hollywood's most inspiring and tragic young talents. 6. Evelyn Nelson, age 23. Evelyn Nelson, born November 13, 1899, was a silent-era actress admired for her soft, sincere style in dramas such as No Trespassing, 1922, with Wallace Reid. Her restrained acting stood out in an era of exaggerated silent film performances, earning her steady work in melodramas and westerns and placing her among Hollywood's promising young talents. Off-screen, Evelyn reportedly faced personal and emotional difficulties. On June 16, 1923, she was found at her Los Angeles home and later pronounced dead at only 23. Contemporary reports described her passing during a period of private struggle. The story faded quickly in the press, leaving Nelson as another bright figure whose career ended before it could truly develop. 7. Martha Mansfield, age 24. Martha Mansfield, born July 14, 1899, was a rising silent film actress known for both stage and screen work. In 1923, she was filming The Warrens of Virginia in San Antonio, Texas, wearing a Civil War-era gown made of highly flammable material, a common hazard of early costume design. On November 29, 1923, while resting in a car between scenes, a discarded match reportedly ignited her dress. Co-stars tried to smother the flames, but she suffered severe burns and died the next day, November 30th, at just 24. Her passing became one of early Hollywood's most remembered on-set accidents, underscoring how dangerous production conditions were before modern safety standards. 8. Judy Tyler, age 24. Judy Tyler, born October 9, 1932, rose quickly in entertainment, first on TV's Howdy Doody, 1950-1953, then on Broadway in Pipe Dream, even appearing on the cover of Life as a rising star. Hollywood followed soon after, with films like Bop Girl Goes Calypso, 1957, and her breakout role opposite Elvis Presley in Jailhouse Rock, 1957. Just days after filming Wrapped, Judy and her husband, Gregory Lafayette, were driving home to New York when their car collided head-on near Rock River, Wyoming. Judy died instantly at 24. Lafayette passed away the next day at 19. When Jailhouse Rock premiered, Elvis reportedly avoided watching it due to the loss. Tyler is remembered as one of Hollywood's greatest what-if stories, a career cut short at the moment of success. 9. Robert Francis, age 25. Robert Francis, born February 26, 1930, entered Hollywood as the ideal clean-cut leading man of the 1950s. Signed by Columbia Pictures, he debuted with strong reviews in The Caine Mutiny, 1954, opposite Humphrey Bogart, then quickly appeared in They Rode West, The Bamboo Prison, and The Long Gray Line. All within 2 years, establishing him as a rising star studios hoped to develop long-term. On July 31, 1955, Robert took off from Lockheed Air Terminal, now Hollywood Burbank Airport, in a Beechcraft Bonanza 35 with agent George Meyer and actress Ann Russell. Moments after takeoff, the plane lost power and crashed, killing all three. Francis was 25, with only 4 completed films. A brief career that still shows how far Hollywood expected him to go. 10. Joan Dowling, age 26. Joan Dowling, born January 6, 1928, in Surrey, rose quickly in post-war British cinema. Self-trained and praised for her natural acting, she gained recognition in Hue and Cry, 1947, and The Guinea Pig, 1948, with critics expecting a long career ahead. Her expressive style stood out against the more polished studio looks of the era. Privately, Joan reportedly struggled with emotional difficulties. On March 31, 1954, she was found at home after a coal gas incident and died shortly after, age 26. The coroner linked her passing to mental strain. Press coverage was brief, and her name soon faded from headlines. Another young talent remembered for promise rather than time on screen. 11. Myrtle Gonzalez, age 27. Myrtle Gonzalez, born on September 28, 1891, in Los Angeles, is remembered as one of the earliest Latina actresses in American silent cinema. Between 1913 and 1917, she appeared in dozens of short films, becoming known for outdoor melodramas and westerns, where she often played brave, independent frontier women, an unusual screen image for actresses of the era. Publicity writers called her the virgin white lily of the screen, and she was celebrated as a fresh, natural presence at a time when silent acting often leaned toward theatricality. In 1917, she married actor-director Alan Watt and stepped back from film work soon after. The following year, during the global Spanish influenza pandemic, Myrtle fell severely ill in Los Angeles. She died on October 22, 1918, at just 27. Many of her films were later lost to nitrate decay, leaving only scattered stills and surviving reels to preserve her memory. Today, she stands as an early pioneer of representation, a culturally significant figure taken by a global tragedy rather than Hollywood itself. 12. Robert Harron, age 27. Robert Harron, born on April 12, 1893, in New York City, was one of D.W. Griffith's most recognizable leading men of the silent era. Appearing in roughly 200 productions throughout the 1910s, including The Birth of a Nation, 1915, Intolerance, 1916, and Hearts of the World, 1918, he became known for his gentle demeanor and emotional sincerity on screen. Audiences embraced him as the archetype of the sensitive young romantic hero, and studios expected a long and successful future ahead. In late 1920, Harron traveled to New York for promotional engagements and checked into a hotel shortly after arriving. While unpacking, a revolver wrapped in his clothing reportedly fell and discharged, striking him in the chest. He was taken to Bellevue Hospital, where he initially seemed likely to recover, but complications developed, and he died on September 5, 1920, at the age of 27. Although rumors of suicide circulated for decades, the official ruling remained accidental. His legacy today lives through the early masterpieces of silent film, evidence of a career cut short at the dawn of cinema's first golden age. 13. Carol Landis, age 29. Carol Landis, born on January 1, 1919, became one of the most dazzling faces of 1940s Hollywood. Audiences knew her from 1 Million BC, 1940, I Wake Up Screaming, 1941, and a series of musicals and comedies that highlighted her charisma and versatility. During World War II, she became a favorite among servicemen, touring overseas with USO shows to raise morale. With beauty, talent, and confident screen presence, she appeared destined for a long and successful career. Yet fame came with challenges. Behind the cameras, the pace of work was intense, and personal pressures added weight to an already demanding life. On July 5, 1948, at only 29, Carol passed away at her home in Pacific Palisades. Reports at the time pointed to emotional exhaustion and a difficult period in her private life. Hollywood paid tribute, but soon moved on, leaving Carol Landis as a bittersweet reminder that even the brightest stars can carry silent burdens behind their public glow. 14. Barbara Lamar, age 29. Barbara Lamar, born on July 28, 1896, became one of silent-era Hollywood's most celebrated and mythologized beauties, widely publicized as the girl who is too beautiful. Over her relatively short career, she appeared in more than 30 films and also worked as a screenwriter. Her dramatic intensity, striking looks, and magnetic presence made her a major box office draw. Studios often relied on her name and image to attract audiences. Off-screen, her life was fast-paced and glamorous. Parties, constant travel, heavy workload, and ongoing public scrutiny. By the mid-1920s, her health deteriorated severely. Reported causes included kidney problems, exhaustion, and tuberculosis, exacerbated by the relentless demands placed on her. After months of declining health, Barbara Lamar died on January 30, 1926, at just 29. Her death marked the end of a career defined by glamour and excess, a stark example of how silent-era studios exploited young talent, treating beauty and popularity as commodities with a short shelf life. 15. Florence Labadie, age 29. Florence Labadie, born on April 27, 1888, became one of the most popular and prolific actresses of the silent film era. Between approximately 1912 and 1917, she appeared in well over 100 films, earning acclaim for her grace, natural acting style, and screen presence. She was widely considered one of the earliest genuine movie stars, among the first to build a following based on personality and performance rather than just novelty. In August 1917, she was severely injured in a car accident near Ossining, New York. Although she initially seemed to recover, complications set in during a time when modern medical treatments, for example antibiotics, did not exist. On October 28, 1917, Florence Labadie died at the age of 29. Her death triggered widespread grief among early film audiences. Many of her films were later lost due to the deterioration of nitrate film stock, leaving behind only photographs, advertisements, and promotional stills. Her story remains a potent symbol of how early cinema's first stars could rise quickly and disappear just as fast, leaving only fragments of their legacy behind. Fame promised lights, cameras, applause, yet for some, it ended far too early. These 15 names remind us that behind every poster and spotlight can stand a brief life and an unfinished story. Remember them, because forgotten stars fade twice.